Tier lists, a ranking system that has been around since the very early days of the internet. These best to worst lists have sparked countless amounts of debates within various communities, and I gotta say, I freaking love it. And since tier lists have been a real trending topic on YouTube, I thought, why not cash in on another trending topic for views? Hey, it's been like 2 months since I've uploaded, so I need a bit of a jump starter here. But seriously, ever since this tier list trend has been making waves, people have been asking me to do various rankings of different topics about Pokemon. So I thought, hey, if I'm going to do it, why not make a video about it, since I do want to explain why I put Pokemon in certain tiers, and there's only so much I can put into a 140 character tweet. As a side note, follow me on Twitter and Instagram because I have those, and I guess those are important, and I post some funny stuff sometimes, you know, like me as a woman, or a baby. Don't mind I have mustache though. I just think that gives character, I guess. But back to the topic at hand. Since this will be the beginning of a new series, a starter, if you will, I think the first tier list we are going to be tackling today kind of has to be about the starter Pokemon. So with that, welcome to my starter Pokemon tier list. I think you guys know how these kinds of videos work by now, but if you don't, I will be taking every starter Pokemon, including, yes, the Generation 8 and Let's Go starters, and put them into a tier list, S being the best and F being the worst. I will be ranking these Pokemon based on design, battling capabilities, and just my overall experience with each starter. So obviously, with all of that said, this video is completely opinionated and should not be taken as fact. So if you disagree, feel free to send me death threats in the comments below. I'm already dead on the inside, so it doesn't matter. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. And with that being said, let's get started. Well, if we're going to be doing this starter tier list, I guess the best place to begin this video is where the entire franchise started, the Kanto region. The first generation of Pokemon, in my opinion, brought about one of the strongest starter trios in the entire series. Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Charmander are all iconic Pokemon that will be remembered for generations to come, and I have to say, I love all three of these little guys. Alright, so let's get the easy one out of the way. Charizard is automatically in the S tier rank. I mean, it's my freaking mascot. There's no way I wouldn't be putting it in the top tier list. And I've talked about it in plenty of videos why I love Charizard so much. So if you want to know why I think this Pokemon is amazing, here's a link to another video. So with that, let's move on to Bulbasaur. Design-wise, I think the entire line is done very well from first stage to Mega Evolution. They're all very solid Pokemon designs. I have to give a particular shout out to Ivysaur in this case because this Pokemon is a top tier middle stage design, one of my personal favorites to be honest. Battle-wise, it's the strongest and easiest to use in-game and can be useful in competitive, provided a Mega Evolution of course. It's not as strong as the two Charizards, but it isn't a slouch either. All around, I think this Pokemon is a very solid choice for a starter, and definitely one of my favorite Grass-type Pokemon, and for that, I can't put it anywhere else other than the S tier. And finally, rounding out the last of the Kanto starters, we have, of course, Squirtle. In my opinion, this is my least favorite of the three, but in no way am I saying that it's a bad Pokemon. Squirtle, Wartortle, and Blastoise are all great designs and are good choices to use in game as well, but personally speaking, I don't really like the look of Mega Blastoise, so kinda drops a bit of points. Compared to the other two Megas, it just falls a little short for me. As for competitive, this Pokemon also falls pretty flat here too, especially when comparing it to its counterparts. Again, it's still a great Pokemon, and I have lots of fond memories using Blastoise, but to me, the design and its lack of competitive prowess really makes it just fall a little short of the S tier, and will be the first Pokemon I put in the A tier. And since we are already in the Kanto region, let's just get the other two starters, Pikachu and Eevee, out of the way. Surprisingly, I didn't end up being that upset that both starters couldn't evolve in-game, and actually enjoyed using the first stages throughout the entire story. I think the addition of these exclusive moves also really made these two Pokemon a lot more exciting to use. Now, I wouldn't put them on the level of a Charizard or Blastoise, since I don't really have that many fond memories or even an attachment to them, but I will give both Eevee and Pikachu a solid B for effort. Crossing over past Tojo Falls, we now find ourselves in the Johto region, where this trio of starters are pretty average to me, to be honest. Let's start with my favorite of the bunch, being of course Cyndaquil. Based off design alone, this line is one of the best starters in the series. From an adorable little echidna to a menacing and badass honey badger, this line was designed perfectly. It's a real shame that Typhlosion is one of the more weaker starters in terms of battle though. Now in-game, I think it's pretty decent to use to get through the story, but in battle, it's very one-dimensional and just overall weak. And while I do have some fond memories of this Pokemon, I don't think that's enough to put it on the top tier, so for that, Typhlosion gets put on the A tier. Now moving on, we have Totodile, and honestly, I'm pretty indifferent to this Pokemon. I think the designs are good for what it is, but I wasn't crazy about them either. To go along with that, it's also pretty garbage competitively, and average to pretty good in game too. It's not like I hate this line, it's not bad at all, but like I said before, I'm just indifferent to the line, so for that, I have to put it right smack in the middle of the pack at C. Not bad, but not amazing either. Finally, we have by far one of my least favorite starter Pokemon, not only in this region, but out of all of the starters in general. I'm sorry guys, but I'm really not a fan of this Chikorita line. While I think Chikorita and Bayleaf are decent designs, Megadium just ruins the entire thing for me. I think the design looks boring, the colors look bad, and there's just nothing that stands out to me. And on top of that, it's the hardest to use in-game and sucks ass competitively. There's literally nothing redeeming about this Pokemon, so to me, F tier is where it belongs. Now, Generation 3 holds a very special place in my heart. As most of you guys know by now, Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire were the very first Pokemon games that I owned, so the starters of the Hoenn region all hold so much nostalgia for me. This time, let's start with my least favorite of the three starters, which is Mudkip. But honestly, saying that it's my least favorite isn't really saying much because this entire line is still one of my favorites of all time. Do you like Mudkips? No, I love these little guys. From Mudkip to Swampert, I absolutely love this line. The only problem I have here is the Mega. I think it's just a bit too bulky for my liking, but I don't hate the design either. In terms of battle, the typing, moveset, and stats made it really good to use not only in-game, but in competitive battling too. Overall, this Pokemon is just a very solid choice for a starter, and I always loved using Swampert, but unfortunately, the Mega makes me drop it a little bit from S tier to A tier. As for Trico, I gotta say, I don't think I can find one thing that I hate about this Pokemon. I love every single design from Trico to Mega Sceptile. It's great to use in-game, and it's not that bad competitively either. On top of that, who here remembers Leroy's Pokemon Sapphire walkthrough? Literally, my childhood was that Let's Play, and for that, I have to put this Pokemon high up on the S tier. Sure, it's not as good as, let's say, Swampert in battle, but the sentimental value to me outshines any battling capabilities. At least this one does. And finally, let's talk about Torchic. I honestly have so much love for this Pokemon. I always thought the design for Torchic was adorable, and this line was always my go-to whenever I picked up a Gen 3 game. On top of that, Combuskin looks hilarious, and Blaziken is just so freaking cool. And don't even get me started on the Mega. Even though the change isn't too much, there's a beauty in simplicity sometimes. Add that along with it being by far the strongest starter in battle, and pretty much you got yourself a Pokemon that deserves to be on the S tier. From there on, let's move on to Generation 4, which brought us Chimchar, Piplup, and Turtwig. This trio for me, like the Hoenn starters, are all very strong and amazing in their own special ways. Chimchar to me is the best of the bunch, so let's start with him. Design-wise, I think hands down this is one of the best concepts for a Pokemon in the series. I mean, just look at Infernape. This Pokemon is freaking amazing. And in terms of battling, according to the best starter series, this is the best Pokemon to use in-game, so there's that, and to go along with it, even with no Mega Evolution, this Pokemon is still great to any competitive team. It's the whole package, really, so for that, I have to put it in the S tier. Next up, we have Piplup, another really solid Pokemon to use. The addition of Steel to Empoleon really makes this Pokemon a force to be reckoned with. In battle, not only in-game is it good, but it also holds its own in the competitive scene too, which is pretty impressive for a starter that can't Mega Evolve. I also have a lot of fond memories with this Pokemon, including, again, watching Leroy's Diamond playthrough, and while I do love all of these things about Empoleon, I just think it's missing something to push it over the edge. And for that, I'm going to give it a very solid and respectable A. Finally, we have Turtwig, a Pokemon that at first I really didn't like, but thanks to the anime of all places, I actually grew to really love this Pokemon. Design-wise, the entire line is okay, from Turtwig to Grottle, but when you get to Torterra, I gotta say it's pretty badass. Unfortunately though, out of the 3 starter Pokemon in this region, battle-wise, this Pokemon is probably the worst. It's a shame, but either way, I still think this Pokemon is great, so for that, I'm gonna put it in the B tier. And now after 2 generations back to back with top tier starter Pokemon designs, I now bring you probably the worst trio in all of the Pokemon franchise. The Gen 5 starters. These 3 Pokemon have been the subject of countless amounts of hateful rhetoric, and honestly, I feel it's deserved because these 3 starters were really not the greatest. The worst one to me has to be Samurott. I've done a video explaining why I don't like this Pokemon, so here are 2 videos on why I don't like them if you want me to go into detail, but in short, I just think it looks stupid, so F tier. Now, while I do think by this point in time the firefighting trope is really starting to get old, I actually don't mind Emboar as much as other people do. It's very versatile, can hit like a truck, and has a very wide move pool. Now, I'm not saying that this Pokemon is the greatest to use in battle or anything, because it does have its weaknesses, but it can surprise you with some interesting sets, which makes for an interesting Pokemon to me. But it is ugly, so C tier. Finally, we have, in my opinion, the most boring starter Pokemon of all time, Snivy. Now don't get me wrong, it is a strong Pokemon to use, especially if you get it with Contrary, but just look at the evolutionary line. It's just so uninspiring to me, like they played it safe instead of trying something interesting. At least with Samurott, they tried something. Overall, it's a good Pokemon to use in battle, but the lack of an interesting design to me or any other good memories makes it really hard for me to actually care about this Pokemon. So for that, I'm going to put Snivy in the D tier. Next up, we have the starter trio from the Kalos region, and there is a lot to say about these 3 starters, so let's start with Chespin. As an idea, I love the concept of this trio being based on RPG classes, and the design for this entire line does its job being a tank class. The problem is that I'm just not a real big fan of these really bulky, fat designs. I can understand why other people can like it, but it's just not for me. Now, of course, there are exceptions to this rule like Snorlax and Lugia for me, but unfortunately, I think Chestnut just wasn't executed as well as them. It's not bad, it's just not for me. As for battling, it's very bulky and has great moves to complement that, so it's pretty decent to use. Overall, I don't really care for this Pokemon, but I think it's pretty average, so I'm going to put it right in the middle in the C tier. Moving on, we now have one of, if not the most hated starter in the entire series. I am of course talking about the Fox Pokemon Delphox. Now obviously, like everyone else, I pretty much hate Delphox. It's a bad design, I never enjoyed using it, and battle-wise, it's pretty ass. But I will say this, I do love Braixen and Fennekin. These 2 designs pretty much save this Pokemon from hitting the F tier, but honestly, I can't really bring myself to go any higher than D. As for Froakie though, this entire line is top tier. The designs, let's face it, are all amazing, from Froakie to Ash Greninja. Not one of these designs misses a step. As for battling, not only is Ash Greninja good, but of course you also have Protean Greninja, which both do very well in-game and in the competitive scene. Add that up with the fact that I always pick this Pokemon during my Kalos runs, and what can I say? It's S tier quality. Alright, now we finally get to move on to the most recently released Pokemon generation, Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. With these games, they gave us the 3 starters Rowlet, Litten, and Popplio. Out of the 3, my favorite of them has to, of course, be Incineroar, because as a kid, I was a big fan of professional wrestling, so when I saw this Pokemon had a basis of origin that came from that, I was gonna have a connection to it. Other than that, I'm also a big fan of its signature moves like Malicious Moonsault and Darkest Lariat, and while it is pretty good to use in-game, as a competitive Pokemon, you hear next to nothing about it. But battling isn't everything, and I do have a connection with this Pokemon, so with that said, Incineroar to me has to be put in the B tier. After that, we have the Grass Quill Pokemon Rowlet. The beginning stage definitely is the cutest of the 3, and in terms of lore, this Pokemon has got a really cool background. Decidueye also just looks amazing. I can't say I don't love the design. Battle-wise, if it was even half as amazing as it is design-wise, it would have for sure been S tier, but in this category, it does leave something to be desired. All in all, it's a great Pokemon, and I love the design, so to me, Decidueye is a B tier Pokemon. And finally, we have the best of the 3 starters, at least battle-wise, which of course is Popplio. When it comes to this Pokemon, I personally like it the least out of the 3, but I don't hate it by any means. It's like I said, the best of the 3 starters battle-wise, has a very cool typing in Water and Fairy, and I think the design of Primarina is really cool. It's just that I like the other 2 designs so much more. Plus, Brionne is one of the ugliest abominations I've ever seen, so for that, and everything else I said, I have to knock it down 1 stage to the C tier. And finally, we have arrived at the final stop, the most current generation, Generation 8. To be honest, not much is known about the 3 starters of the Galar region, as we only really know what the designs of the first stages look like, so this current tier list is subject to change. But with that, let's take a look at Grookey. As of right now, if I had to pick one right away, this Pokemon would probably be my first choice to go with, because to me, it's the most adorable of the bunch and has the highest potential to evolve into something amazing. But I can't put it in the S or A tier based purely on potential, so with that, the B tier is where Grookey lands. Next up, we have one of the weirdest looking Pokemon I have ever seen, being of course Sobble. Now when I say weird, I don't mean that in a bad way, because I actually kinda love how weird it looks. And the fact that it goes invisible gives it the possibility that it will become a ghost type, so that can be very interesting for an evolution. As for potential, I do see this Pokemon having a great evolution, so with that said, I'll put Sobble in the B tier. And finally, the last starter Pokemon we are going to be talking about today is the Fire-type Pokemon Scorbunny. I do not like this Pokemon. I'm getting some fire fighting Pokemon vibes here, and if that happens again, I really don't know what to say here. Design-wise, I think it looks kind of boring and bland, which almost makes me want to put this thing in the F tier. But since this is only the first stage, there still is a chance for this Pokemon to turn it around for me. So based purely on potential, I'm putting Scorbunny in the D tier. Hopefully, with more info coming out about the Galar starters, maybe these Pokemon will all look amazing and move up the ranks. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and let me know in the comments section below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and become an Eryizo today. If you want to check out the previous video I did, be sure to click the annotation on the left. And if you guys want to see some more Pokemon Sword and Shield videos, click the other annotation on the right. And with that being said, I will see you guys next time.